Hi, folks. Pastor CJ, Grace of the Lord Church here, and I'm creating this, how-to Facebook video, not because I'm some sort of expert, but because I know there's a lot of ministry leaders out there right now who are depending on Facebook now more than ever before, and there are some best practices that I've learned to help you maximize your impact in your, digital platform. I think the irony is a few years ago, there was many pastors who would say, "Hey, Facebook is the devil. You can waste a lot of time on there. There's a lot of sinful stuff going around on there." And now we're all like, "Hey, like my Facebook page, watch my live stream on Facebook, and Facebook, Facebook, Facebook." And I know there's a lot of streaming services, but a lot of people are using Facebook because they're free and people are on there. And so anyway, I've come up with some best practices that may help you maximize your Facebook impact. And, I haven't gotten this from, some book or whatever. This is really just my observations. So I could be wrong or mistaken or something, but, this is basically just what I've observed from my experience because Facebook, like any of these other tech companies, they do not put their algorithms and their systems and stuff all out there on display. I mean, there's some stuff you could do in research, but unless it comes from Facebook themselves, it's largely speculation like mine here today. And Facebook will give you some best practices, and there's going to be some stuff that they play close to the chest. And so anyway, here's what I've observed to help you maximize your Facebook impact. The first big ingredient to appreciate is that, of course, Facebook algorithms have preferences. And so when you post something to Facebook, their algorithms kick in to decide how much visibility your post is going to get. So whether it's a post or whatever, Facebook algorithms will have preferences. Also, people have preferences. And so what people prefer factor into the Facebook algorithms. For example, if you make a post that's just a lot of text, you just got this whole paragraph of text, people are going to scroll past that, and people probably are not going to read that and engage with that as much. Sure, some people will, but most people won't. And Facebook's algorithms notice that. And if you post a video or a picture, people will tend to notice that more. And so Facebook's algorithms will prefer that. So if you can post your sentence in a graphic as opposed to just a sentence in a post, then you're going to get a little bit more play out of Facebook's algorithms. And Facebook's algorithms will decide how much visibility you get because Facebook will prefer your page or your posts based on the interest level of the people in their news feeds. Notice this. Your news feed doesn't have posts from everybody on your friends list, right? So you might have 100 friends, but you don't see 100 people's posts every time you check out your Facebook news feed. Why? Because Facebook's algorithms decide whose stuff you're going to see and whose stuff you won't. And Facebook's algorithms decide that based on, from what I can tell, how active people are and how interested you are in their content. So for example, if somebody doesn't post much very often, then their posts are unlikely to hit up a news feed. Therefore, if your Facebook page is inactive and you don't post stuff very often, then you're unlikely to land in the news feeds of the people who are following your organization's Facebook page. The best way you can make sure to land in other people's news feeds is by being active on Facebook. Facebook likes it when you're active on Facebook, of course. And so the more often you post stuff, the more likely it is you're going to land in their news feeds. Because if you've got 100 people who are following your organization, and they're also following other organizations, and they've got friends and other people who are landing in their news feeds. And so Facebook algorithms, you're literally competing for space in a person's news feed. And so you can outcompete other people's posts by being active and by posting things people are interested in. If people like your post, or if they comment on your post, or if they share your post, then Facebook algorithms are going to notice that you're the kind of person that posts things people are interested in. And your post is going to get more play in more news feeds. And then the next thing you post is likely to show up in news feeds, which is why you always see people post these things about like comment amen if you agree, or oh, if only I could get one share, or like if you agree. They just like make these comments where they encourage you to engage, because that engagement, whatever it is going to be favorable to Facebook's algorithms, and then make the rest of their posts more likely to show up in your news feed. So if you post things that are interesting, like current events, or like community events, or things relevant, like there's a food drive going on, the kind of things that people would share or like or comment on, then Facebook's going to like that and put your future posts in other news feeds as well. If you post in things that nobody cares about, then you're not going to get a lot of play in Facebook news feeds. The thing is, you can filter the content that you don't want to see in your news feed, right? So if somebody posts something you don't want to see anything from them again, you can tell Facebook that, and they'll start adding other people's stuff to your news feed. But you don't have as much control about what you do see in your news feed. And it's the same thing for everybody. So Facebook kind of decides what you will see. You can decide what you won't see. And so therefore you have to kind of like play to the algorithms in their favor to make sure that what you post ends up in the people's news feeds of those they follow. Just because they follow your organization's page doesn't mean they're going to see everything your organization is posting. You have to outcompete other people's posts in their news feeds. And so the best post is the kind of post that somebody's going to like or share or comment on. And the best page is the kind of page that has regular posts every day. And I'll use our church as an example. I have some software, it's free, and you can schedule posts. And so I schedule something 3 times a day, every day of the week. And when I have some things I post that are regular every Sunday and every Saturday, just to prepare people for the service, what I notice is those reoccurring posts that are the same post every week, they don't get as much play in news feeds as these unique posts during the week. So even that, Facebook algorithms catch on to, and so they like the unique stuff and the often stuff. If your page is stagnant, you'll start to get notifications from Facebook that says, hey, please post more things. Redundant content doesn't show up in news feeds as much. So you really want to have a page that's active with regular posts, and you want the kind of posts that people are going to engage with, or otherwise other people's posts and pages will outcompete you for the limited space that Facebook is allowing on the news feeds of those who are following you, as well as following other organizations. So I hope this helps you to maximize your Facebook ministry. And, I'm no expert here, but this is just what we've found works best for our page. And hopefully it can help you too. And hope you have a great rest of your day.